Bible warns about divination. If something is trying to get your attention, it's not holy.
1.5 million asylum seekers are expected to arrive in the country this year. The forecast was given by government officials. The officials had previously estimated that no more than 1 million refugees will arrive in Germany. Meanwhile, German Finance Minister Wolfgang Schäuble has called for limiting the number of asylum seekers arriving in Europe. The continent is grappling with an influx of refugees who are fleeing wars in the Middle East and Africa. Let's cross over to Paris and speak to Geroid O'Colmain. He's a political analyst and a journalist, and he joins us via Skype. Mr. Colmain, thank you very much for joining us here on Press TV. Now, despite saying that Europe needs to reduce the influx of refugees, Wolfgang Schäuble hasn't recommended what steps need to be taken. What do you think he's going to say as far as that is concerned?
Well, first of all, I think we need to broaden our understanding of what is happening in this current phase of the refugee crisis. The first point we need to make here is, first of all, the Western powers caused the refugee crisis. That's clear. The second point is that they're not all Syrian. There are many other nationalities in the flow of refugees, migrants to Europe. The third point is...
To me, television is not the truth. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats. We're in the boredom-killing business. So if you want the truth, go to God.
A surprising announcement today from Pope Francis, who continues to make waves with his stances on hot-button issues ahead of his historic visit to the U.S.
Pope Francis says he is letting priests set people free from what he calls the sin of abortion if they ask for forgiveness.
We have another spectacular day ahead, and all of us here at the Capitol were just treated to the most gorgeous sunrise over the Library of Congress and Supreme Court. Thousands gathering already.
The city electrified tonight. You can imagine the security in a city this size. Of course, the Pope visiting those school children Terry mentioned in Harlem.
Just seeing him is just amazing.
He's not the first Pope to take over Central Park, but this Pope, he's not like any other.
My name is Mark Wahlberg, and I am so proud to be a part of this awe-inspiring event. Holy Father, we are blessed and graced to be in your presence. Father, welcome to Philadelphia.
But what you see here is reflective of what's going on across the country, across the world, because a man of peace is in our midst today, a man of hope.
The global goals.
A 15-year plan.
For everyone. Everywhere.
With no one left behind.
With everyone equal before the law.
Where all countries and we their people
work together
in partnerships of all kinds
to make these global goals a reality.
For everyone, everywhere.
These are the United Nations global goals
for sustainable development.
Let's get to work.
Let's make it happen.
One of the highlights of the Pope's visit to New York today was his visit to the National September 11th Memorial.
Bring your peace to our violent world.
The Pope also spoke at an interfaith service with leaders of other religions, including an imam and a rabbi. At the conclusion of the service, the Pope greeted each religious leader individually, in some cases in the manner fitting their religion, such as a bow or a sign made with the hands.
You can see the Pope greeting members of the religious faiths one by one. And as he entered the hall as well, greeting many who were there to see him, this is an important moment for Pope Francis and the world.
Yes.
And truly a historic moment, Father Andrew Carrozza. Only one other time in history have we seen such a prayer service of different faiths with the Pope.
And this is how it looks from inside the Pope-mobile. Pope Francis and his personal touch is taking the city by storm. And look, the New York Post even changed its masthead to New York Pope.
Tonight, the world is watching. We have gathered here tonight to commit ourselves to these global goals, to build a future in which shelter.
This is the most beautiful thing. We all about love and unity. Tomorrowland, showing your flag, representing your country. We are one.
We've all been coming here to see that the world is not such a bad place after all. That there will always be a place and time where we, people from all over the world, with different cultures and religions, can all come together peacefully, and that together.
We know that no religion is immune from forms of individual delusion or ideological extremism. There is another temptation which we must especially guard against. The simplistic reductionism which sees only good or evil, or if you will, the righteous and sinners. We must move forward together as one in a renewed spirit of fraternity and solidarity, cooperating generously for the common good.
This weekend, NASA is telling us to keep our eyes on the skies for something very special. It's a sight that won't happen again for another 18 years.
So all these things line up to be a very rare event. I guess there's only been 5 of these in the last century.
But yeah, this is a fantastic show we've got lined up starring our own moon this Sunday night. We've got 2 different events lining up for a rare show, one that hasn't happened since 1982.
Now the last...
Too many people on the planet. We need to get rid of several billion. And war doesn't seem to work, so we're going to use disease and starvation.
Talks and senses touch.
What are you wearing?
I'm wearing a nice outfit that you bought me. I really like it.
Can I kiss you?